We've been talking about how to bring people into singing, and we've hit on some pretty big topics, and I'd like to just add to those today. One would be the follow-up call. So once we've gone out into the public and we've sung familiar songs, and we were both we took an approach that was both active and personal, in that order. Active, number one. Personal, number two. And we show that we're having fun and we're about fellowship or camaraderie and singing and have an altruistic purpose, etc., etc., etc. So we're going to make that follow-up call, and I'm going to read from this just because I want to make sure to hit the points that are vital when we pick up that call. So preparing for the call, I put on here, make the call and personally invite them to join you at the next couple of rehearsals. Join you at one of the next couple of rehearsals. Don't ask us no questions. We talked about that. Like, would you like to come to rehearsal? Yeah, we don't want to ask that. Give them options like, which night would be better for you, this Tuesday or next Tuesday? Did you notice that the only option is coming one day or the other? Hey, not that we're trying to be pushy, because this is a great, it's like a virus, right? Singing is a great virus to get. Maybe I shouldn't use that word given the circumstances that we're in. Okay. You know what I'm trying to say is that it's something that you can enjoy and you can't get too much of it. And it's a good thing. Okay. So the opener is, I'm calling you now. Hi, Jeff. It's Paul from the barbershop show or the singing show. Remember me? I remember we talked about priming the pumps for that. It was great getting to meet you, and more importantly, getting to talk with you the other night. I can't tell you, there we go, how much fun we had performing, and the camaraderie and the friendships and the singing just make rehearsals such a blast. And then that's the opener. And then I talk about why they should come out for an evening. Because the singing and the friendships are such a release from the daily grind, I wanted to call and extend a personal invitation to you so you could check it out for yourself for a night and just see how much fun it really is. Then we want to take the pressure off. I remember being a kid on the farm, and I saw two dogs. It looked like they were fighting, not play fighting. It looked like they were fighting. Two of the neighbor dogs. And all of a sudden, one submitted. And I thought, oh, it's over now. I mean, that's it. And the dog that was dominating finally went, what was that? Right? And they backed off, because I want to win because you're fighting me. That's the thing. But if you take the pressure off, you say, I'm not in for the fight. Then people go, oh, well, what was this? It's not about who can establish their dominance in their current position. You're going to be a part of this group, and no, I'm not, and we're going to battle it out. No, there's no pressure at all. And so that's kind of I didn't explain it perfectly, but that's kind of the concept that I use here, and it seems to be pretty effective. Here's what you hear anyway. Anyway, we meet at 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, and I'd be happy to share a ride with you. I mean, no pressure, just fun. So which night would work better for you? Is this Tuesday or next Tuesday night better for you? That's it. I think the way I wrote it is, so which night would work better for you? This Tuesday night or next Tuesday night? That's it. And you don't try to be pushy, just offering them an opportunity to make their lives more awesome forever. If their schedule doesn't fit with your meeting night or a group that meets in an on an open night for them, find that group and connect them, because remember, if they join, I'm reading this, they will be bringing in more singers, possibly in your area too. Yay, because we're all in this together. Well, I'm only going to grow my group and I don't care what happens to anyone else. You know, is that really the vibe you want to be sending out? I mean, because it's going to seep out. It's going to seep throughout your chorus and in your performances and in the community. Even there's just like this little hint. Even if people can't put their finger on it, they can tell something's amiss. So just be out to help people. That's what we should be about anyway. I mean, I think we're on this planet, everybody, to help one another. That's why we're here. So let's try to do that. Yeah, let's do that. So remember, it's the we approach, not the us and them. Yeah, I like that. I'm glad I wrote that. So it's we in the overall singing community. Hey, Jackson. I donned your jacket like you offered, so thank you very much. Yeah, so it's the we approach and not the our group and their group and there the two shall meet and etc. Cool. So that's the follow-up call. We talked a bit about the street magician concept. You know, location, location, location. Where you go is so important. Let me move down to yay. I have information. And I was a math major. One of my degrees is in mathematics, another one in computer science. And I think I was about one class shy of getting one in child development. So this information speaks to my math background. And a very good friend to singing happens to be the vice president of the NBC agency. Maybe you've heard of NBC. But he and his group, John Miller, he and his group are almost completely responsible for finding out what people want to see on TV. And so they do surveys and Nielsen ratings, etc., etc. And he snuck in 7 questions about singing. And in fact, about singing specifically barbershop music. My guess is the numbers are going to be at least similar for other styles of singing. But here's what he sent me, and then I converted it into, I think it was a group of, I think the survey went out to men between the ages of 25 and 40. I'm just going to pick that number. I'm pretty sure it was 25, but it might be 50. Might be 50. So we'll say 25 and 50 that watch primetime television during the week. And he snuck in 7 questions. And one of the questions was, if you knew that there was a barbershop chorus in your area, would you join it? 7% said yes. That doesn't sound like that. A lot, right? 7 out of 100. So it could be barbershop chorus, could be community chorus, choir, could be, church choir, right? Anything. So people want to sing, but they don't know where to go. Now, if you take that, and I did the math, if you just take general populace, right, and you say that's probably about the same for women as it is for men, it would be 2.88% is under 49 and looking for somewhere to sing. And it's 4.28% under 65. So my guess is, that's the numbers I was able to calculate. It's probably around 6% that's 75 or under. Huh. Doesn't sound like a lot of people, does it? Well, let's think about that. What is 6%? I mean, I live in the metropolitan Detroit area. I mean, yeah, we have 5 acres, so we're not anywhere near like the city, but we're within a pulling range of that area. But let's say the Detroit metropolitan area. So there's well over 1 million people. And what is 6% of 1 million people? You know, because it's probably 2 million people in the greater Detroit area, but let's just say 1 million people. If you live in an area with 10,000 people, hey, that means 1 out of 100. So 6 out of 100, or 60 out of 1,000, or 600 out of 10,000 people. 600. You directors are going to be really busy. But here's the problem. They don't know that we exist, right? How many people that live 2 doors or more down from you know that any kind of group even exists, let alone how to get a hold of them, or let alone know that they would actually be welcomed? And all they have to know is, hey, do you see that this goes up and the next one goes down? Uppy downy knowledge is all the musical talent you need, right? Singing talent, hey, can you match a pitch? Ba, ba, hey, there you go. Love to have you. You like people? You passed. Right. So I guess the other, why is that? Why don't we, if there's that many people looking to sing, why aren't we finding them? Why aren't we growing like crazy? It's because we are in singing communities, we are very internally focused. We market to other singers. What do other singers like that are currently in our genre, right? So if you get contemporary a cappella, we have contemporary a cappella people marketing to other contemporary a cappella people. And it gets to be like this closed circuit of communication. And then people from the outside world come and see it and they go, what is that? It's amazing. Man, if I could ever do that. Well, there's no real on-ramp, right? I can use that word again. But at the same time, but there are groups, there are community groups, and there are barbershop and Sweet Adelines and Harmony Incorporated groups and choruses and quartets that there is an easy on-ramp, right? Because there's directors and there's music, sheet music, and there's learning tracks, and there's other people that know uppy downy, but they've learned a few more than the first 3 notes. So you just follow along with them. And it's fun. And you make friends. And you sing. And you help people. Wow, what's better than that? Okay. So it's pretty cool. So I guess another thing that I come to, and it's one of the reasons that I'm sharing all of this, I get hired, right, to come out and share all this stuff with everybody and to tell them how to do it. And the people that do, they grow. I mean, you find me a chorus that can approach things like this and not grow. You find me those people. Sing familiar and approachable music. Doesn't have to be difficult. It just has to be familiar. It has to be approachable in the way that we present it, in the way that we connect with people, in the arrangement itself. It's not how many backflips can we do in 3.5 minutes. That's not as, look what we could do, right? Look at us. Right? And that's not as welcoming. But you find me a group that will cover all of these things and not grow. Find me one. So, the thing that I hope I get to do in the future is then, if you've been sharing this, Paul, with so many groups, then how come they're not all growing? Well, there are a lot of successes. Those that follow, it is like 99.8% of the time, they grow. Now, here's the thing. When you stop growing because you try to convert it right back to what you used to do, And then it goes, oh, wow, this is great. Good thing we don't have to do any of that anymore. I've seen it. There's a chorus right here in Michigan. I went out and I shared this with them. And they only had like, I don't know, maybe 15 members, somewhere around there. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less. And I went out and shared this with them. And they grew. And they're like, holy smokes. You know what? I'm going to hit pause on this. This is a great example. Man, it's a great microcosmic example. Yeah. This goes back to, hey, the way that you grow is you sing better. Oh, really? Okay. Let's find out. So back to our chorus. What's going to happen next? So I went out and I gave them Wavebox singing. And they went to their contest. And if you can score 20 points higher, that's a lot. That's a lot. 25 is really good. 50 is, they scored over 100 points higher than they had ever scored before. 100. In just like 2 sessions. Because we want this to be the tide that raises all ships. It's not hurry up and fix a couple of songs. No, we want you to become better musicians, better artists. So, and then they went 6 months singing out in public. And guess how many new members they got? With rounding, 0. Well, they stayed true to Wavebox stuff and they refined their understanding, and I might have gone in one or two more times, not really certain. But they went back, and on top of the 100 points, they won most improved. That's a stellar improvement. They scored another 40 points on top of the 100 plus that they did before. And everybody's like, what is going on with these guys? I use that guys interchangeably. Ladies, gentlemen, guys. Okay. Anyway, so they go out and sing in public, singing at a significantly higher level than they ever had. And guess how many new members they got? Yeah, you're right. 0. Yeah. Okay. Then I went out and shared this with them. And in 8 weeks, I think they brought in like 7, 8, 9 people. Hey, not bad. Awesome, in fact. And then they went, good thing we don't need to do that anymore. And they stopped, and guess what happened to their growth? 0. And they went along and said, oh man, Paul, can you come back out and talk to us? Sure. Okay, so here's the concepts again. Don't forget these. Got to stay true to it. Remember that way we invited people? Here's what I would suggest. You spend 5 minutes at every rehearsal practicing inviting people. All right, Paul and Jackson are going to practice. Paul will read the script, and Jackson will answer one of 2 ways. I sing alone, or I sing in front of others. That's it. Because we don't need people trying to goof me up and say, oh, I sing while skydiving or something like that. Oh, what do I do with that? So it's just recognizing, is he saying something along the lines that I sing alone, like in the car or somewhere? Or do I sing in front of others, like in a band or karaoke, etc.? Okay, then I know where to go in my script. Perfect. So they were like, oh, that's a good idea, 5 minutes. Because the 5 minutes is a connection that says this is important to us. We are going to grow. That's the deal. And so they grew, in the next 6 weeks, they grew 6 members in 6 weeks. 1 a week. And when you're only sitting at about 15 or 16, that's a lot, right? That's like 40%. I don't know what it is. But it's a lot in 6 weeks. 35%, I don't know. You can worry about it. And then they went, oh man, that worked. Good thing we don't have to do that anymore. No more growth. And they had me come back out again. So I said, you got to follow. Okay, so then they grow again, and they had me come out one more time. And they said, look, guys, you take this approach and you practice your 5 minutes of inviting each other, you grow. You stop, you don't. You practice your 5 minutes and these concepts, and you grow, and you stop, and you don't. Then you have me come back out, and I say, hey, here's the concepts. Practice your 5 minutes, you grow, and then you stop, and then you don't. Now, I was a math major, and usually I'm really good at patterns, but I got nothing. I don't know what it is. Huh. And they all laughed. Like, okay, we get it. Right. This is the culture change, and that's the problem. I can share this, but if people don't use it, it won't work. I guarantee you that. If you don't take and imbibe it and metabolize it and make it a part of your culture, that we're going to grow. Because, hey, let's say that you want to be this. You know one way to get there? Have a whole bunch of people singing on the risers or on the stage. Or where you put 250, 300 people in a group, it'll probably sound pretty good. Because, hey, you know what? You get 12 people, all of a sudden the key change is hard. You get 300 people, someone knows it. Oh, I'll follow Frank. He seems to figure it out. Okay. Oh, hey, that's what it is, right? So you want to make key changes easier? Grow. You want to build better sets and put on better shows? Grow. You want to sell more ad space in your what's the book that I'm talking about, Jackson, that has the program. In your program, grow, right? The list goes on and on and on. It solves a multitude of sins, and it's so funny. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So here's what I want to do in the future. Here's how you grow. Then you bring me out, and I take you out into the world and show you how to do it. Because I've done that before, too. And it's pretty fun. Went out to a group in California. I could give you the whole story, but I won't. But it was the rest of the chorus didn't even know I was coming. And they had 13 people. And in one night, I got them 13 other people that wanted to join. 13 that wanted to join. And so they're like, holy smoke, this is amazing. Blah! And so I went back home thinking, job well done. Yay. Those guys are going to just enjoy that, and they're going to see the benefits and the fruits of this approach and their efforts in the future. And so I called about a month and a half, maybe about 4 to 6 weeks later, and I said, hey, how did it go with those 13 people? It might have been 12 now that I think about it. 12 or 13. Anyway, how did it go with those 12? Oh, yeah, we really need to get to call in those people. Oh, no, I was so sad. We had them just waiting to come, right? And we couldn't get around to it. Holy smokes. Because this is the old culture. Hey, we're going to learn notes and words, and we're going to go to contest, or we're going to only do our show. Hey, you want to make your shows better? Put more people, right? Get more people. The rest will take care of itself. So which is more important, a key change or another person on the risers to share in the music and the joy of singing? I hope you say it's the latter rather than the former, because that's where we need to go, right? So I have to also tell you that I discovered something recently, that it's actually easier to start a brand new group than it is to grow an existing one. I found that out. As hard as that is to admit, and I don't want to say it, but it is. Because it's trying to change and inculcate everybody with a new culture. And they go, yeah, that makes total sense. That's what I want, as long as someone else does it. Well, it's the we thing, right? Simon says go like this. Simon says go like this. And Simon says repeat after me. I am one of the people that need to help this group grow. Me. Yeah. So I had about 3 hours before I was supposed to, I was a week or two before going to the Ontario District's Harmony Academy. And I had about 3 hours. And I said, you know what? I don't have any leads. I have nothing to go on. I'm going to start a course. And so I contacted actually Jackson's school, and I said, hey, I have this idea for starting a course. And she said, the music teacher there said, cool. I said, okay, I'm going to put some things out. And we were singing at a Friendsgiving. We were singing at a Friendsgiving party. And the boys and I went down and sang a 3-part thing, just a little short 15-second thing. And they went, look, oh, I want to do that. And so everybody was taking turns. I'm like, okay, we're starting the chorus. You want in? Yeah, okay, poof. And we started. And the first night we had, I don't know, 18, 20 people? Yeah. So 18 to 20 people. And now it's people coming from other school districts and people coming from other cities, half-hour away, just by word of mouth. And it's super easy. And we do it for 1 hour. 1 hour, learn your music on your own time, and poof, they love it. And I love it. So we'll talk a little bit more about maybe some cultural things if you're starting a new group. Maybe you want to even call it starting your own group over, a reboot, and say, hey, here's some cultural things that have just got to be intrinsic to who we are. It's got to be in our DNA and the texture of who we are. So we'll look forward to that. Comment, like, share, just so that I know people are watching these. So, because it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a little organization. And I'm so thankful again for Jackson. Love you so much. And everybody, thanks for spending time with me this evening. Those that are watching on the rerun, thank you for spending time, and hopefully it was helpful. And as I say, continue to make music.